Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, we're back, and we're joined by Dustin Rhodes. Welcome to In Your Head.
Hey, man, thank you.
Yeah, really a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be on. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, well, we'll let everybody know right off the bat that you're going to be at the NWA Legends Fan Fest. It's going to be August 10th through the 12th. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Hilton University Place Hotel, and you can go to NWALegends.com and find out how to get your tickets and how to get your I think you can even get deals on the plane fight in the hotel room and all that stuff. And there's going to be like 50 legends there, I think.
I think there is going to be that many. I mean, it's very exciting. And from what I understand, there's, from the old Crockett era, there's so many old school fans that are coming to this thing that it is just an honor that I'm a part of it, and they're all, all the legends. And they're billing me on the top with Tully Blanchard, which is, I'm like, been so nervous about because, I mean, my God, I get to be in the ring with a guy who is one of the greatest wrestlers in the world and saw him when I was in school against Dad, and Baby Doll's going to be there. She's going to on my ass, so that bitch will be flat.
No, when you were a kid, did you ever think, someday you're watching your dad wrestling Tully Blanchard, that, someday you'd be wrestling him?
Never, ever, and it's truly an honor. I mean, this will go down for me as, one of the goals or one of the things that I want to achieve in life or wrestle a certain person in life. Tully is definitely one of them. And, and my other passion, my only other passion really is that old NWA belt that Dad had.
Mm-hmm.
Never had it, never had a world championship, and I'm hoping one day I will,
Yeah, definitely.
If I could have it, have the belt that Dad had, got myself over the Rhodes, because we're running crazy right now. They're up in WWE taking over, and I'm in TNA taking over. So it's just a great time right now, man, and Tully, I'm just really excited about it.
And it's not just a regular match. It's, they're billing it as it's going to be Tully's last match. Does that make
really?
it that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's going to be Tully's final match.
I'm a deal for him.
Mm-hmm. So does that make it, that much more special?
Of course it does. Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, at the end of that match, no matter what, because I'm not opening my mouth, whether it goes 15, 20, 30 minutes, he will definitely, the people will be on their feet, standing ovation, and out of the goodness of my heart, I don't give a crap what he's done to me. I'll find whatever in me to get up and to shake his hand and on the mic say what an honor this has been, because by far, I got to work with the Arns and Barrys and Bob Eatons and them, but Tully, man, this is it's really exciting. I'm very nervous about it,
Yeah, because
I'm 19th year in the business. I'm not supposed to be nervous anymore, but I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think it would take a really special match to make you really nervous about it.
Well, yeah, and as of late, I watched the match the other day, Magnum against him in that I Quit match in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching him, I watched a couple more matches of his, but man, he is such a great, I mean, when you remember wrestlers, and you remember like the Four Horsemen and things, and Tully Blanchard and all that, I mean, that people don't forget that, the things that he's done for this business, man. It's unbelievable. So I'm nervous to an extent. I'm very excited, and it's an honor for me to even be on that show with so many legends.
Right.
Just to step in the ring with him,
You mentioned Magnum's going to be on the show too. Yeah, he's going to be at the signing autographs and stuff. You mentioned that match.
Also, I'm going to be doing that too, but also I'm going to take pictures as Goldust and Dustin. So we're going to do two different signings for both. For the other fans that like the Goldust, we'll have the double. Dustin. But when it gets down to match time, I'm sure I'll be off in the corner by myself, real quiet, and just trying to do what I know I can do best, is entertain the people, And
when When the fans ask you for autographs, do you find they ask you more often for like a Goldust or Dustin Rhodes, or does it kind of depend like what part of the country you're in?
It varies. I mean, today's generation right now, a lot of people they don't know Dustin Rhodes, and it's like when me and my brother put Dad in the Hall of Fame, they called me Dustin Runnels and they called him Cody Rhodes, and I don't know why they did that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of, I think, Vince's ways of sticking it to somebody, you know, because he's a frickin' prick from hell. I hate him. And, you know, but I was there for my dad and Cody. But, you know, this generation, the kids, they know Goldust, they love this, and then they see me showing a picture of Dustin Rhodes, they say, "That's you?" You know, so, but the older people, they know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when he first appeared as Goldust, and this was before the, the internet, put out everything, and I didn't even realize it was you for a while. And, I was a big fan of yours from the NWA.
Actually, me neither, man. It took me a long time to try to figure out that character, too.
Right. Yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of the character when it first debuted, but I think once you really...
Anybody was, buddy.
Yeah, once you really got into it and you just made it your own, it took off.
Oh, you know what was very special for me, too? You know, like people say, following your daddy's footsteps and how hard it's been, or for any son with their father in the wrestling business, our industry. You can never fill his shoes. You can try, but I finally figured, I can't do this. I cannot live up to his name, sitting in his boots. And then when I pulled off Goldust, when Vince gave me that character, the prick that he is, me doing and the stuff, because I did not want to be the gayest type character for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, this is the first time I'm trying to learn how to be a bad guy, a heel,
Right.
And Savio Vega, I owe him all the credit for getting the Goldust character over, because for 1 year, while they were doing the NWO, WCW, and I'm over here, I was voted the #1 fucking heel over Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
1 solid year. And that right there, I accomplished something, and I set into my own boots and did something that was way before its time, pulled that shit off, and it was a great time, great experience, so.
Do you think Savio's an underrated worker? Because that's who Austin was working with, right when, he started to take off.
Well, you know what? Savio is one of the greatest workers in the business, man. I mean, broke his neck and stuff, but I just saw him not too long ago in San Juan, just 2 weeks ago, and I had to work this Apollo guy who hurt Scott Steiner, injured him, that tracheotomy or whatever, but I saw him, man, and we hugged and we talked for a couple of hours, and all the credit goes to him, because we were in the Garden one night, okay, and I have the IC title, and the main event is the Click guys, right, the Click.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Savio, he's like in the match, it's sold out. He's like, "Say it, man, just do it. Come on, try it one time." And finally, I just said, "Okay." And a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York City. So I roll out of the ring, I grab the mic, because they're booing, and I said, if you Puerto Ricans don't shut up right now, and people in the audience will shut up right now, I'm going to come out there and stick my tongue down each and every one of your throats. Boom! All of a sudden, it went raw. I was like, holy hell, that was easy.
Right.
And I get in the ring, and he grabbed me in a headlock, and he grabbed me, and he said, "See? And I went, "Yeah." Then he said, "Go behind me and rub up and down my chest." I did that, and he pushed me off, and I ran, scooted, and they wanted to jump the rail and kill me.
Right.
Now you have all the, then gay and lesbian rights activists or whatever, they were calling, complaining. Moms were calling, "I'm never letting my children watch this stuff again." And the next week, the ratings are going up.
Mm-hmm.
That match, that first match, Vince he had a hell of a month, of working, and finally doing that in the Garden. When you got Vince McMahon popping and excited because of the false finishes and just hearing the reaction of the crowd, and you got the boys popping, it's something. And at the end of the match, when I'm rolling out, I get back in that suit that I wear, was new, and it's so hot, so I'm unzipping it. I would just wrestle for 25 minutes, and I'm laying on the floor, and Vince said, "Hey, do you feel like going back out there? Can you go back out there and get some more heat on it, and we'll bring it back, next month?" I said, "Okay, sure." Zipped up, and I ran out there, and he had my belt, but I was a champ, and I just uppercutted him in the nuts and just beat the crap out of him, let him land, and we sold it out the next time too. So, I mean, it was way before its time, and it was such a good feeling to do it, to pull it off, And it's something that I'm doing right now at TNA. I'm going to pull off, and the people will never forget. They're always going to remember the name of what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, you don't want to give it away too much, but is that going to be on tomorrow night on Impact?
I'm not sure where it is in the show on Spike, but it starts at 9.
Yep.
It's just a sit-down interview with Mike Tenay. I'm dressed in like suit clothing, so that's Dustin Rhodes. And the interview was awesome, and it's to watch and to die for. I mean, if you want to see something intense and psychologically cool, telling a story in a interview that lasted 5 minutes, and they edited it down to about 1:45. It's going to be something really cool coming up, and I'm really excited.
Cool. We should get a caller here. We got Jason on the line.
Hey, what's happening?
All right, you're on air with Dustin. Do you have a question?
Oh, yeah, I definitely do. First off, I got to say, Dustin, you're talking about the younger fans. Well, I'm of that generation. I'm 22 years old, and my favorite stuff with you was when you were Dustin Rhodes in WCW. That was it for me. But
when I was the Natural.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I probably remember the best of you, and that's what I normally tell my friends about. Goldust was good, but Dustin Rhodes was better.
No, but thank you, man, very much.
I got 2 questions for you, actually. My first one is, how does it feel when, you have fans like me or other fans that come up to you and say that you're probably one of the best guys to never have a world title? I mean, does that make you feel pretty good if the fans think of you in that light, or...
Nobody's really ever, as a fan, come up and said that to me. I mean, till now. You just asked me. It feels very good, and I appreciate that with all my heart because, it is a passion for me to just win that one belt, that the old one. Not that big son of a bitch, that big one, just
right.
That old NWA title that Harley Race held, Rick, Dad. Always wanted to win that, and it's a TNA. And, maybe here soon, or I might get a chance, and I appreciate that very much, because that does mean a lot to me. I do, I'm getting older, and things like that, but I can go out there, and there's a person on the front row that brought his children, and that's the only reason he's there. He hates it, but at the end of that match, because I focus on that one person, I make him a believer. And I appreciate you, buddy, for what you just said.
Well, thank you. Me and some friends totally agree on that a bunch of us think that you're one of the best guys to never get a title. And my second question for you is, what was it like to be in multiple War Games matches? Because that's the all-time best gimmick match ever. So.
Those are so fun. The 2 rings.
Mm-hmm.
They were really fun. That's when me and Steve Austin, we had like a 2-month run where, he was a TV champion, I think, but we were having 25 minutes every night. But when we got into War Games, me and Steve, we're the 2 that bled the most when Barry was my partner there, too. And just simple little things. It's so much fun to use the cage, like you shoot him off the ropes and you're shooting him up for a reverse atomic drop, and he hits his head on top of the metal plate on top, and boom. And it's really fun. And then you're crawling through the rope, crawling through the other ring, and I think Barry had Arn's head stuck between the ring and just was holding his legs and just up and down on his shoulders. It was the War Games. It was the thing. That big son of a bitch they have now. Not the one that Mick Foley fell off of.
The Hell in the Cell.
The one with the chambers, the
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. See, I don't like that. I like the 2-ring deal.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. And the time limit, first, second, you always knew what was going to happen. I mean, who he'll get on the one day.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to have the baby faces have the advantage.
Yeah. And then I watched that movie with David Arquette, and they have that 3-tier.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting, but, War Games is, that was my dad's creation. All those, Arcade, the Great American Bash, those were all his creations, and, WWE bought them all, bought WCW and bought all that stuff, so.
Well, why do you think WWE's ever done one of those matches?
Huh?
Why don't you think WWE has done a War Games match?
Why haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess because the Hell in the Cell is so brutal, and that the chamber deal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they have those two, and the 2 rings is not gonna, outdo maybe those. I really don't know, but you know what? It would be pretty good. It's like Dad having that bull rope match the other night, but Jerry Lawler had to explain to the people because they haven't had that bull rope for so long in the WWE.
Right.
So not a lot of fans, knew what the hell the rules were, and what. I mean, the only one I can picture way back is the one with Superstar Billy Graham.
Mm-hmm.
On the cover of the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. So
right.
I haven't done too many bull ropes up there besides Bradshaw and a few others, so. But it was good the way they did it because they didn't use the bell, they ducked, and there was only one shot, and that was on Dad's head, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Cody ran in before he got kicked, and, if Cody is being pushed right now with Randy Orton, like keep doing every week, then he's going to have to learn really, really fast. And Orton is about, I would say, about 90% on a aspect of psychology, being one of the greatest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he can teach, and then Cody knows so much. They can have a hell of a run, and Cody can get over. He looks good. He looks like a ladies' man, so the girls are going to love him. Except for them damn green hornet tights he wore the other night.
Yeah.
Underwear sticking out. I'm like, oh my God. And those are my yellow boots, too, by the way. But I'm like, why is he wearing green like that? He's got Orton's body, but he's 21.
Right.
Hasn't filled into his body yet,
Mm-hmm.
And he's not, I swear to God, my stepmom must have had an affair because he don't look like us. At all.
Right.
He ain't got our tits and our belly.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't have the black hair, but...
Can't get rid of them.
It is weird seeing a Rhodes, too, with the black hair.
Huh?
It's weird seeing a Rhodes with black hair, too.
Cody's hair, yeah, I know it. It is.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything...
Like the interview the other night is very, very... You can understand him, and he already has a natural lisp. Anyway, like Dad.
Right.
When he talks, he's actually... That little twang lisp that he has is actually his real lisp, unlike Dad's.
Right. We talked a little bit, before we went live about the Hall of Fame thing. When you and Cody inducted your dad. If you just want to tell everybody, what that meant to you.
Well, when Dad gives me a call, and I'd just been fired because whatever reasons, and like 6 months later, hey Dustin, and I already knew that I was going to do it, but he called and said it would be a great honor for me if Cody's going to do it, and you and Cody would induct me to the Hall of Fame. I said, sure, Pop, but I don't want it to be emotional and you to be crying and all this and that. I'm like, that's fine, Dad, don't worry about it. It's an honor to do this. And then we do it, and Cody, I said my spiel, and I knew we were the last ones, the closers, and I knew Dad was going to talk for a while, and then I gave it to Cody, and I had no idea, because I have not seen him work, wrestle, or cut promos or anything, and memorized or not, he spoke his words. I mean, you could very clearly, he understood, and he talked for a long time, and I'm like wanting to kick him in the knees saying, get on with it and get Dad out here. But he was putting me over as Goldust, which I didn't know. I wasn't expecting that, and it was a really heartfelt moment, man, you know, and when he finally threw it to the video package, he was already tearing up. And the lights went out, you know, he turned around and he was crying. I put my arm on him and I said, hey, stop crying. Dad doesn't want us to cry. Oh, you know, and then we do the rest of it. And it was, in 19 years in the business, the topper of all things, you know. If I won the NWA, that old title belt would be great, but it cannot top the Hall of Fame induction, us three together. I want to tell you one funny thing about it. Everybody at the Fox Theater that was getting inducted had their own floor, own room, right? William Shatner was on our floor. Okay? He came in while we're getting dressed. He looked at Dad and he went, Mr. Dusty, do you know where Jerry Lawler is? Because he's inducted him. He's got my script. And Dad sent him on as a joke on a rib on the damn Wild Goose Chase under the bowler rooms. Up the elevators, the steps, this kind of zigzag like maze stuff, and me and Cody just fell down laughing, man. I said, Dad, you talking to Captain Kirk like that? What the hell? My God. He wasn't missing. He wasn't looking around like Dad told him to. And Jerry's just sitting on the stage.
Right.
There were four other people. It was funny as hell, man. Dad said it with a straight face, and I'm trying not to laugh. Cody's got his head down. As soon as he leaves the room and goes downstairs, I go shut the door, and I went, God!
Now, Dusty had his sons induct him into the Hall of Fame, and there was real emotion involved, and made for a great moment. What do you think they should have someone else induct Lawler instead of William Shatner?
Well, Lawler was. What do you mean? Lawler was inducted.
Yeah, but I mean someone else do it instead of an actor, like a wrestler. Like you guys did.
I really don't know. I mean, I don't know why they brought in, Captain Kirk. Jesus. But maybe it was something to do with his whatever commercial, Expedia.com or whatever.
Right.
Maybe they'd some money there or some advertisement, probably sponsorships. I don't know. When I met him at a toy fair up in New York in '98, he was a dickhead.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, my grandmother would be happy that you guys played a joke on him, because my grandmother used to work at a hotel here in Cape Cod, and when he would stay, he'd always ask for extra pillows and sheets, and he would never leave a tip. And ever since I went to see him on TV, she's not a fan.
Well, if this is a millionaire, he can't even leave a little tip, I don't make nothing, and I always over-tip. I just like that, it's me. He's not.
What's going on, Dustin?
High happiness.
Oh, we got a caller here. We got Swax.
What's going on, Dustin?
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was at the UWF event last month for Hardcore World 2. I just want to know, was that your first ever appearance at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia?
That sure was. And you know what happened that night? Me and Steve, we had so much more planned for that match, and they had a new doctor there. Not the commissioner, a new doctor. As soon as they saw that blood, that doctor came unglued, man, and made us go. We went a lot early, because we barely put any time in the match. We had another 20 minutes of stuff. And we got, all of us got in the back, we're cursing him, and they fired him on the spot, because we had some good spots. It would have been really one of, those spots where the crowd were going, holy shit, that kind of stuff. We had some good stuff lined up, because, Carino, he comes up with unreal stuff,
Oh, yeah.
And that was
his last year.
The first time being in that building, I did not expect it to look like that. I mean, I pictured it and seen it, but you picture it in a different way when you get there, But it was pretty cool being in that building.
Did it have like a special atmosphere to it?
Yes, it did. I had a match. Now, okay, I worked with Rob Van Dam a few times, but in Orlando at the fairgrounds, I worked Sabu. And he took Raven's place or something. And I never worked Sabu. I mean, his style is so unorthodox. So I'm like trying to think, what the hell do I do with him? I mean, my God.
Right.
The guy's got 13 matches on the card. So basically, me and Sabu go to the ring at 12:30, and there was a few announcements of, okay, we have Goldust here with Sabu, and Sabu was getting a bigger pop. So I said, all right, I'm going to be the heel tonight, you know. And so I said, Sabu, let's start it like this. You know, when you come in the ring and you stick your finger up in the air, and then when it's back down, you look at me, I'm going to throw a chair right at your face. Bam! You know, start bleeding, we'll fight through the crowd, do whatever. And then the next day I got a call. He said that was it's going to be voted one of the best matches of the year. And I went, what? Then that sucked. I mean, it was okay, but you know, when Sabu doesn't hit something right, he'll get nervous. He'll grab a chair and jump up, stick it under his legs, and you know, pie face you with it. They didn't have any metal chairs, which was really hard. So he hit the chair and he hit the top rope. When he did the back flip, his ankles hit my stomach instead of his body. So he hurt himself, you know. And I'm supposed to win the match, and he said, "Oh shit, my ribs! What are we gonna do? I said, just sing it for a minute, you know, relax. Hold on. I'm thinking. So I get a chair and stick it in between the ropes in the turnbuckle there. I pick him up real slow. I said, reverse me into this chair here. Boom. I shatter the chair, and I'm waiting for him to, like, roll me up. And then, you know, he doesn't roll me up. He just comes off, hits me with a clothesline. Then all of a sudden he grabs the chair and jumps up and jumps on my face again. I'm like, God, ref, count 1, 2, 3, please.
Right.
And then at 3, he's like, thank you, Dustin. It was it. It was like, every other match, it was a gimmick match. Every match they did unreal stuff. Like one of those, what is that team called with the blue and red? They look like twins, black hair.
Oh, and for what company?
Huh?
For what company?
They work for Hermie Sadler a lot.
Oh, okay.
They wear the bandanas. They got black hair. One wears red. One wears blue. They're like the Hardy Boys. They're very good.
I'm not really sure.
He came off a 20-foot wall off the fairgrounds top, you know, and I'm talking to Sabu. We're talking, trying to figure out, and all of a sudden you hear, holy shit. So I ran around to see what happened. You hear it in every match, and I'm like, what the fuck are we going to do? But our veteranism is what got us through that match, you know, and it actually was an okay match. It wasn't great, wasn't bad, but the veteranism, you know, was there, and I saw that night. That so many matches, did so much blood. Every table, every chair, every conceivable object you think of was used. And we had ours, but we had the people at the end, and they, you know, I had this dad came up to me, we came down especially to see you, you know, and from Chicago, you know, and he's got 5 kids and his wife there. I said, man, I mean, it makes you look at it and just say, damn, I'm a veteran, and I'm good, I'm one of the best. And, you know, me questioning myself a while ago, I should be kicking myself in the head. No matter what those guys are doing, they're doing the best job they can. But 19 years in the business,
right.
The dues being paid and learning and knowing my trade and can do it. And Sabu, too. It's just a different style, and we got it done. And that's a good feeling, you know, when at the end. You've seen it all, and you've captured the people, because I rolled out and shook everybody in the audience's hand, you know. And it's the fans, man, without them, we're nothing, you know. There is no wrestling business. They hate us, they love us, they want to spit on us, they want to kiss us, whatever. They love us, though, and I love them, and the appreciation for them even if they hate me, whoever it may be. I mean, I just want to say right now, thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart with a pinky deal of love for my daughter Dakota. Thank you so much.
Was it ever hard for you to talk to the fans openly about wrestling, growing up in the wrestling business?
Say again?
Was it ever hard for you to talk, openly about the wrestling business to the fans?
Where? Like, what do you mean? Give me an example.
To say, the terms like heel and babyface and talk about playing a character Goldust.
Well, you know what? I mean, when I started and everything, I knew, the rules were very, you lived in all day by the rules of kayfabe, and if me and Barry are wrestling each other and we're riding with each other, he dumps me around the corner so we don't pull up together. And we keep it it's our business, and that's what people have lost now, even though everybody knows everything, supposedly. Which they do know a lot. They know it's entertainment. And I still, to this day, if I'm wrestling somebody and I'm riding with them, I will put a towel on my head or something like that, or if somebody's coming in the back you don't know, and we're real close, I will walk off or ask him to get the hell out of here, who are you or what, and, the young guys the new guys and the up-and-comers, they basically, they get shoved into this business, and Vince likes what they see. Vince can make a star out of any human being. He's still an asshole, but he can still a genius. I mean, he can make a star out of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the young boys don't see, they don't get that chance to go on the road and make $20 a night for 2 years and know not to talk kayfabe and know not to, say baby face and heel, because, the fans didn't know it back then or whatever, but they do now. But knowing better, not to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, there's other things too, like talking carny. It's a lost art. Nobody talks carny anymore. That's our wrestling language,
Right.
And so many guys get thrown in there right now, and in the last few years it's kind of pissed me off because some guys get in there. They hadn't been in one match, but Vince sees something in this motherfucker. And you're watching, I'm looking, it's before TV or whatever, and he's maybe doing something, and he has no clue, but he looks so good or whatever reasons that he's shoved into a spot. Now, Cody being put in this spot, I'll have to say, you know what, Cody? I mean, he's been working house shows for OVW.
Mm-hmm.
He's learning for the last couple of years, but still, he's a little wet behind the ears, and he's still got a lot to learn. I do.
Right.
Every single day, I learn something new. Every match. I mean, you can't stop learning, but, to learn psychology, you cannot teach it to people. So I teach it like this. I'm walking, like I said a while ago, and there's always one man on the front row, has these two babies there that love you, and he's just there because of them. He hates the wrestling business.
Right.
And whoever I'm wrestling, that's my focal point. Now, the start of the match, quarter way through, you see a little change. Halfway through, his eyes get a little bigger. 3/4 through, boom, I'm throwing my comeback. There's some false finishes, 1-2, barely kick outs, all this and that. Boom, I catch him with a bulldog, 1-2-3 or whatever, and the guy's on his feet screaming and yelling. And you made the unbeliever a believer.
Right.
That's psychology.
Mm-hmm. And if you impress him, everyone else, you impress everyone else.
Huh?
And if you can impress the non-believer, then you definitely impressed everyone else, all the wrestling fans.
You can't teach that to the guys. The wrestlers have to, and it takes time, but they have to learn it by reactions of people. Now, if somebody's saying boring, if the whole crowd is going boring, you don't jump up and do what they want. Because then they write down on the computer after that, oh, we got Cody or Dustin to do what we wanted because we were saying boring. Yeah, you grab the son of a bitch and lay down in a hole, and sooner or later they stop saying it.
Right. Because you want to be in control of the crowd, not the crowd control you.
No, that's right. But at the same time, you have to listen to the crowd and what they're doing at times, and then that's where the psychology is. That's where you learn it. That's when, if you're going 10 minutes too long and you had them 10 minutes ago, you should have went 1, 2, 3, as opposed to, okay, that 10 minutes with Shawn Michaels doing an extra 10 minutes can keep them some bitches up.
Go on, sorry.
A team, they need to go home, but they keep thinking, okay, we can get them again because they're so young they don't know, and it's flat at the end, and it's that hard work that they tried to do and did do, didn't get the job accomplished psychologically.
By doing, yeah.
Let's buy events, or anybody else. That's, okay, they write down reports every night, their agents, and they send it in the events and call them every night of every match. And, I was getting Snitsky over, both of us. The killer heel.
Oh, yeah. That was a great team.
He's never baby face. And we were opening up the show on the European tour, Trevor, Murdoch and Lance.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, Murdoch hurt a different part of my body every damn night. And I'm giving Snitsky the tag, but thank God Snitsky's giving my receipts.
Right.
He's laying shit in, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, that took his fucking head off. And we start off the crowd, the first match, which we call, a lot of the guys curtain jerkers. But it's not like curtain jerk, some of the guys think that's a bad spot. No, it's not. It's the people where they need to be. It puts you in that spot because they know you can do it.
Right. Starts the show off to a big bang.
Yeah.
We actually got a caller here all the way from Portugal, LTNA fan.
Oh, wow.
Hello there. Can you hear me?
Man of war.
Aldo Montoya.
Aldo, I have some good matches with him. He's Portuguese.
We all love them. We all love me in Portugal.
Is that like the hero in Portugal, Aldo Montoya? Do you like the Hulk Hogan? Is Aldo Montoya like the Hulk Hogan of Portugal?
Wasn't there another one? Was El Gigante?
Is
he Portugal? No, he was Venezuela.
I think he was Mexican.
I don't know where the hell Portugal is.
He was in Portugal. That doesn't count.
I guess he was a Hulk Hogan of Portugal.
There are a lot of people that are the Hulk Hogans of Portugal.
You have a question, LTNA fan?
Yeah, I kind of have two quick questions. First of all, it's about the Goldust character. When you were presented that character, were you uncomfortable to do it? And if so, who presented the character as well? Was Vince McMahon or was it somebody else?
Well, Vince, I had gotten fired, the old back of the truck match with Blacktop Bully for 8 months. Sat there, and trying to pick up little jobs here and there. And he called me one day. He said, hey, Dustin, it's Vince McMahon. And Bruce Pritchard was on the phone, too. And he said, how you doing? Are you sitting down? I said, yeah. Well, I have this idea, this character that I think you would, do good in, or that I want to, maybe try to do, And he presented it to me. And he said, and I hadn't heard the word androgynous too many times, but I knew what it was. Said that, and I'm listening to him and this and that. And, I mentioned face paint because I always wanted to, paint my face instead of a makeup, like a girly makeup look. And he said, that's cool, I like that. And, basically from there we went up to the office and did it. I didn't question it at all, and but the androgyny, learning how to be a heel for the first time and not wanting to do that gay stuff, it took me about 6 months till I finally did it. And, shit just took off, man. I was like, wow, it was so easy. And it was so fun to just know that some bitch on the third row is fixing to jump over and wanting to stab you or kill you, and you got them that much. I mean, my God. I loved it, man. I wasn't uncomfortable at all.
Did it get over better, like, down south?
What's that?
Did you get more heat down south doing that gimmick? You did, like, up north?
Well, heat in different areas, but I think most of the heavy heat, a lot of it was in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it up in Northeast, New York and Texas, my home state, but, Goldust from Hollywood, but, I mean, yeah, some of the southern states, like Alabama was one that was really stood out. Florida, there was a few towns, but nothing like the Northeast. I mean, they were pretty brutal. as hating me, you know what I mean?
You're right, yeah. Do you have another quick one, LTNA fan? Because we got a couple more callers here. We want to get to them quick.
I've noticed we have another call. Just a quick question. I've got a tape of you wrestling in Japan. It was a WCW New Japan show. So my question is, what are your thoughts on the Japanese crowd? And as the show was in Tokyo Dome, what do you thought of that building and wrestling in such a big building to a quiet crowd like the Japanese crowd?
What, the Tokyo Dome?
Tokyo Dome, yes.
Me and Dad?
I don't recall.
Yeah,
a tag team match that you had in Tokyo Dome back in the 90s.
It was like 77,000 people. The fans in Japan, for the wrestlers who have been there, they know, but who doesn't, I mean, the fans are not like here. Very respectable, but, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, you're working around and you do something spectacular, and it might be something small over here, not a hurricanrana or anything like that, but a couple of good little boom, 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 and you're back, both of your feet facing off, and they go, oh, and they start clapping their hands.
Oh.
And then towards the end of the match, the more false finishes you do, the 1-2 barely kicks out, 1-2 barely kicks out, then you start getting them, but they're not screaming and yelling and cursing and going out of their minds like they're going to have an aneurysm. I mean, they only do it at selected times. It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sit there while you're working the match and talk to the guy, and the guy, like, 60 rows back can hear you. It's that quiet. But the clap, it's different. It's harder that way.
Well, thanks for calling in, LTNA fan.
Thank you, man.
We got another call here. Who is this?
Yeah, it's me, TBO.
Who is it?
TBO, your MySpace friend.
Okay, you're on air with Dustin. Do you have a question?
Yeah, for Goldust. I heard that Goldust was supposed to be at last year's ECPW Christmas Chaos at Edison, New Jersey, but I didn't see him anywhere inside the building. Where was he?
When?
Goldust? Last year.
When? When are you talking about?
CBW Christmas Chaos at East Coast Professional Wrestling.
I was supposed to be?
Goldust was supposed to be at Christmas Chaos last year, but didn't see him anywhere in the building. So where was he?
I don't know. I've only missed a few shows in my career, so I'm probably sick or...
Where you can see him. You can see him at the NWA Legends Fan Fest. It's going to be August 10th and the 12th in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I'm on that, yeah. I'm on that.
Check that out. Thanks for calling in. Let's see, got Ryron here.
You know what? That was probably a Ken Polvidente promoter.
Mm-hmm.
He I didn't show up for his show because I was really sick, and he, instead of, being nice, he put my name on the internet and just really put it out there as I was like a piece of shit and I don't show up and stuff.
Right.
And I called him on it and said, will you send me the money for the plane ticket back and I'll take it off? I didn't send no money. And he's, that guy who just called, I guarantee that's probably the show they're talking about. So whoever you were that just called, I couldn't understand. You probably ain't got no teeth in your mouth, and Ken Polvidente can suck the wad.
Sorry we took that call. I don't know what they're going to ask before they call in.
It's all right. Hey, we're going to have haters. We're going to have lovers.
All right. We got Ryron here.
Yeah. Let them talk. I'll eat them up if they won't.
Don't worry, this is a lover.
Okay.
I loved your team with Booker T, and I was curious what your thoughts were on working with him.
You know, oh man, it was best. I mean, the first vignette we did was the Scorpion King deal, like Siskel and Ebert.
Right.
And it got over, and it's so weird because me and Booker are like close, very close, but it's like the odd couple, Walter Matthau and what's his name, but completely the opposite. And it worked. And the next week, they did another one, and another one, and another one. And finally, the fans, you see Booker on TV, you know, Goldust is right there. And it's going to be a funny part of the show, you know. It's going to be a hilarious, entertaining part instead of seeing just nothing but wrestling.
Right.
Going to off the building shoots at 7-Eleven when I'm dressed like Spreewell with chains asking wants a bite of my weenie, you know.
Right.
He's trying to get away, trying to talk him not to go into the NWO, and then me doing the Croc Cutter. That was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was good stuff. We were talking about that before you came on.
Didn't do, which I was very, very upset at, is make dolls of us.
Oh, yeah.
And we fought for those belts for so long, and politics ruled it, but they had no choice but to give them to us, because we were the hottest shit going, man.
Mm-hmm.
We were bringing in the ratings of the show. We were doing the funny stuff in the back, not wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff works. You know, it doesn't have to be all wrestling.
Right. Have you seen this? Because, you know, lately the King Booker stuff, and he's got this feud with Jerry Lawler, and they haven't had one match, but I think it's one of the most entertaining things on the show, just like their interaction.
Yeah, well, you know Lawler, how he is. He's funny as hell and knows how to work. And Booker, he knows how to, and the whole King thing and all this and that's, yes, it's building up to be something really cool, you know.
Mm-hmm. We got a call here, Brian.
Yeah, is it Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin here.
Yeah, I had a question. I know that you competed in the War Games in '92, and I really enjoyed that match. My main question was, how do they decide in what order do the guys go in? Is it like who's in the best shape or who gets the biggest pop at the end? I mean, how do they decide specifically?
It was the coin toss.
Well, yeah.
I'm talking about what the order in which the individual guys go in.
Actually, no, I don't think shape had to do anything with it, you know, because my dad was the booker. He was the boss, and I remember starting one. And it's not like, I mean, it's, you know, the Royal Rumble, you start, you stay all the way to the end and end it or win it. It's pre-planned like every year it was, you know, okay, there's a flip, boom, you know, the heel's going to come in, and then there'll be another heel coming in on the second flip. That's just the way it works. So there's two bad guys against one, and then the other one comes in, and at the end, you have your hottest, which was probably Sting or Dad or whoever was in the match at that time, come in, or Steamboat, and then you have them all in there, and we basically get to where we need to be, and bam.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
He was in great shape, but I was in good shape. You know, I wasn't really fat and heavy, and, you know, I was fast. You know, I could go and go and go. So it really had nothing to do with your you know, your endurance and stuff. It just, you work out different spots and how they want it, whatever they want, it's fine. It's not looked at like that, though. But the War Games are fun, man. I wish I was first in all of them.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, Brian. Let everybody know about the Legends Fan Fest, Friday, August 10th through Sunday the 12th, and that's in North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Hilton University Place Hotel. Everybody check out NWALegends.com to get your tickets.
Let's get some other people on the phone.
Well, you want to take some? We got some questions here from the message board.
Yeah, man.
All right. Do you have one?
Talk about my match, too, because, I mean, you know, this is a very special deal for me, too. I mean,
okay. A lot of people here we have a chat room while we do the show. They've been asking about GTV.
Goldust Television.
Yeah. If that was the plan, was it going to go? Was it going to be Goldust Television?
Yes. Yeah, it was. It was going to be Goldust Television, and then when I left, they kept it around as GTV, but and used it as that, and I guess as a hidden, like, keeping calm camera or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that got started with me and the Blue Meanie, if I'm...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I heard rumors it was going to be Tom Green at one time, too, but I don't know if that was true. I heard rumors at one time Russo wanted it to be Tom Green.
Tom Green?
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
He used to have an MTV show.
I don't even know what Tom Green is. What is that?
It was a kind of a comedy show on MTV. He'd go around and talk to people.
Oh, Tom Green?
Yeah, this is the Tom
guy
Green
Tom
show.
Green?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the guy that put the damn rat in his mouth.
Right. He'd go and poke dead animals.
I got you. He's a crazy son of a bitch.
Speaking of Russo, do you get along with Vince Russo?
Oh yeah, buddy. I mean, he's right now. I am in his face and doing what we are fixing to do. At TNA, you'll get a taste of it tomorrow night. The interview that I cut, which is off the hook, man. And it's, you have Goldust, done his stuff, Dustin. Okay, so just sitting down with Mike today, it's so intense that you'll think that the guy, that everybody, that all the wrestlers were coming around, listening to it, and we talked and my interview was about 5-6 minutes long, and they edited it down to, about 1 minute and 45 seconds, I think, but very intense stuff. They thought I was going to have an aneurysm, but Vince's creation and his vision of what we are doing, we are on the same page, and I know that if you got 3 or 4 other guys tell me something to do, that I will go straight to Vince, because he has the vision of what he wants out of me, out of what's going to happen, and it's a great relationship when it was Goldust, and then we just kind of went separate ways, but we're back together again, and we're fixing to get something that's needed at TNA, and it's going to get over. I believe it because I know I can do it. I know he has the vision, and I can see his vision because he was the one who was, telling me what to say as Goldust. I'm like, you want me to say this? Oh my God, you're a sick fuck. And he came up with it. I mean, genius things, and they were of course gay, but I was quoting movies and licking my lips and doing certain stuff that I wouldn't have thought to do, but he would bring that out, after one take and say, try it this way, He's very, very creative and very, very smart, and I'm lucky that he went to bat for me at TNA and has got me on board. Mm-hmm. And right now in my life, I'm thinking, very, very hard that I do not want to ruin this opportunity, and I want to do whatever I can to boost it, to boost TNA, to get us to where we need to be. Now we have plenty, of top stars that are doing their best too. I want to put in my best, and I'm given a chance here, another chance. So, been on I started my Atkins diet, which works for me in my treadmill. So I can't wait, man, to the next pay-per-view is the debut of what I'm going to do.
Do you think TNA does a good job of mixing, the stars that people know, like yourself and Kurt Angle, and, with some of the younger guys that are really talented, but people might not be, household names yet?
Yeah, and I'm glad that, Kurt, Sting, and we got the Steiners, and Christian is one of my favorite guys in the whole world to wrestle. He is so much fun. And they're all good, talented guys that brings it to the table. And you have, AJ and Abyss and then, Petey and all those guys. As Bobby Roode I had a hell of a match with him the last time I was there. That 2 out of 3 Falls Princess of the Darkness match. And there's so many talented guys there, so everybody can bring something to the table. I don't think that they put anybody at TNA, which is a lot different from WWE, that can't and does not know what the hell they're doing, that's not pushed in there and just completely messes up and looks like crap. They don't do that. It's great. I'm getting my opportunity, man, and I owe it all to, of course, TNA, but I mean, Vince Russo went to bat for me, man, and he really did. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna see this thing skyrocket. I know it. I already feel it.
They recently had a house show up here in Cape Cod. It was the first time I think they were ever up, this far northeast. And it was at the Cape Cod Melody Tent, where WWE has been every year except for this year's TNA, and the crowd just they went crazy for everybody.
Well, they're starting to run more house shows now that I understand.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that when I got there the other day for my first TVs, and that's good. They need to, and it's really good. If it's just gonna better the company, because Universal doing TVs and all that and pay-per-views. If you can get a pay-per-view and do it in Chicago or Detroit like they did and stuff, move around a little bit. More people get to see it in the towns, like WWE. They go to towns and they've never been in this town or something. They've come in, everybody wants to see it. They always see it in Orlando on TV there. Now they get to see it live in person, and they're getting there just like they're getting very close to going to 2 hours instead of 1 hour.
Right. Do you think it would be good for them if they could get a live show?
Yeah, I think that's not too far down the road either. I think that's real close. I think because I know they had some, I think they were talking with Fox. I think they were talking with Fox this week or USA. I can't remember who it was. I read it on the internet. But there's a lot of negotiations going around right now. Somebody's going to pick them up, and Dixie, the Carters, Panda Energy Company, they own, TNA and stuff. I mean, they have stood behind it and have worked hard trying to get it to where it needs to be, and we're close. It's close. It was close when I was there before, but it's getting so much closer. Now that I'm here now, I can see it completely. It's changed so much more positive, and they've expanded and moving to different towns, house shows. I hope to God, a 2-hour show, and I hope to God we get live, with the but and then I want to go head up with WWE, When we get there, boom, let's see where they sit, Let's see where that son of a bitch Vince McMahon's sitting. See if we can outrate his ass, okay? Because I believe we have the talent to do it. And I've talked to a few people in town because I'm excited about this thing, and they haven't even heard of TNA. And, they got satellite dish or direct TV or whatever, but they've not heard of it. So,
right. You gotta get people to, watch it.
It's so long since there was WCW. It's been like it was yesterday, but it's been gone for so long that they've had that one TV show to watch.
Right.
So it's right, but you have TNA now, and I just encourage everybody, of course you love your WWE fans, and your fans don't stop loving them, but hell, watch us too.
Yeah. Well, if you're a wrestling fan, I think the more wrestling's on TV, the better. More good wrestling that's on TV.
And stuff when they're up top on that scaffolding and all that. I'm in the back, and me and Billy Gunn on this past one on the pay-per-view, we're watching this unreal stuff, and we keep looking at each other like, God Almighty, just like, oh my God. They're landing on their necks, and then they're jumping up like nothing happened.
Right.
I'm scared just to get up on the second rope now. My knees start wobbling.
Is there anything that if you see some of those guys doing those moves that you'd like to talk to them and maybe give them some advice?
Well, I could give them advice in an area of timing or certain area like that, but they're athletes in their own style. I could never do the stuff they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe you could add some psychology to some of the moves they do, or.
But they, it's different. Like Rhino did that scaffolding with I forget AJ, I guess it was. But Rhino's a big boy, and that's when they had the first one where you could walk on it instead of just the where you got to climb and stuff like that.
Yeah, where it was like an X, basically.
Those guys, they know what they're doing, and I mean, I can see it. I mean, they're all talented as hell and good workers, you know. So I can't do that crap. So all I could do is, you know, if I see a timing's off on something, then I'm sure they see it because, you know, when they get back and they're thanking each other for the match or whatever, they usually say it, you know, well, the timing was off right here, so then, you know, it's already been said, you know. So, I mean, that's their domain.
Right.
The X division. I'm too big for that shit.
That's what
you know, I'm 170 pounds. My God, I can't flip around like they can.
I just want to mention, too, at the Fan Fest, there's going to be 3 TNA wrestlers. Christian, Christian, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe. So, you know, you not only see the legends, you also see, you know, some current guys you see on TV.
In Charlotte?
Yeah.
Christian and who?
Christian, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah, they're great guys. I got to talk a little bit, to know Samoa Joe a little better this past TV, you know, and got, you know, sit down and talk more than, you know, just passing through more than, you know, 10 seconds. We sit down and have a good conversation. He's a really good guy. He's a hell of a worker. And, you know, you can look at his body and the style he works, he's on target. He's right there all the time, you know. Christian, I mean, speaks for himself. And who else did you say?
Samoa Joe, Christian, and AJ Styles.
AJ works his ass off and does a hell of a job. He's a hell of a the character himself is over, you know, it is over. Christian's over, and Samoa Joe is over. I mean, Sting and everybody, I mean, Rhino, everybody's over, you know. So now that's my goal. I got to get myself over. But man, it's going to be something that you haven't seen yet. It's very different. It's really cool. And, you know, it's just something that I know me and Vince together we're going to pull off and hopefully maybe one day get a shot at that damn belt, man, because, you know, that's always in the back of my head is one of my dreams.
Barbie, do you have a question from the chat room or the message board?
Yeah, I've got a question from the message board. One of our fans, Buck, wants to know, do you feel that Goldust was the true beginning of the Attitude Era in the WWF?
Yes, I think Goldust, I really do, not big-headedly or anything like that. Honest to God, I think Goldust, 1996, when he started in this, set the standard for every single thing risque they do right now. Without a doubt, we pushed the envelope to the max and then some with Goldust, and that's another thing I'm proud of, you know. I mean, the stuff they do now, I mean, let's say I didn't do it, you know, it may or may not happen or got to where it's at, but I definitely do take the credit for that very proudly. You know, that hey, you know, look at what they're doing now. Well, I set, Vince, you know, we set it to where what they're doing now, that's saying a lot, and it's another proud moment, you know, so many attributes, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm not saying it in a big-headed way, man, because I'm very, very loyal and prideful, and I love this business more than anything short of my daughter and God, and it is no matter if there's 10 people in there or if there's 90,000. If there's 10 people in there, I can shake every one of them's hand. I know that, and I can take pictures with every one of them, and I will do whatever I can to unless, you know, I've been on the road and I'm really tired or hurting or something. I'm going to give them what I can, whatever I can do to let, because they paid to come see us, you know, they paid to come see me, or they paid to come see the other guy wrestling me, or whoever else. I'm still going to put my part in, and it doesn't matter how many are there, you know, to me. It's my love, and it's pure for the business, and it's in my blood. It's family. A lot of people will want to be wrestlers, you know, but man, it's not It's not a luxurious life, but the love for the business is very pure and wonderful, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard life, and people just, they don't understand that, you know, what we go through. It's a tough fucking business.
We got another caller here. Who is this?
Hi, guys. How you doing? This is Bob. How you doing?
We're good, thanks.
Really enjoy the show, and Dustin, it's an honor to talk to you. Just wanted to ask you, as you were talking about how hard it is, and really, do you think it's harder now than it was for your dad, that era, or do you think now is even a tougher time for wrestlers?
Harder for like young guys to get in?
No, basically, if you're in and then you're on the road, are they on the road? Are you on the road more now than it was your dad's time?
Yeah, I'll give you one thing that I'll tell everybody. Say we're on a 10-day run. First day's in New York City, second day's in Washington State, third day's in Florida, fourth day's in San Francisco, fifth day's in Minnesota, sixth day's in Texas, seventh day we go to England, eighth, Australia, ninth, somewhere in Australia again, the 10th, come back, 24-hour time change into a pay-per-view and have to perform 110% when you're jet-lagged and been through so many time zones and traveling that it really, you get used to it once you do it for so long, but I mean, the traveling, man, is 250 days, 300 days a year, and it's not seasonal. You do get used to it, though. I mean, like a normal human being, think an hour drive, you know, is so far, or 100 miles is so far, and it takes them so long to get there. When we land after flying somewhere, and we still have to drive 300 miles, and, you know, we don't think nothing about it. But now I do. I freaking hate traveling. I mean, God dang, but I'm doing it right now. In the Independence, I'm driving to where I got to go. I had my truck repoed. I had to, you know, get a little car, you know, and things happen. But, you know, the love for the business, man, you got to really love it and have it inside of you. And really, really take a good, long look at yourself to, you know, say, hey, I can do this, I can get through this, I can make it. It is a tough schedule, because now I've got a taste of it. Do you want to continue with it, yes or no? And now, speaking for me, you know, I'm not going to say, well, fuck, he quit. Goddamn, he wasn't worth a shit. Some of the guys would do that, but that's not me, you know. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants, you know, they really do. They want to be a wrestler. And everybody wants to be a shoot fighter. UFC's taking off. And it's just a hard life, you know. It's what's inside of you, you know, what you got, what intestinal fortitude you can bring with you, you know. And it's hard, buddy. I hope that answers your question.
It really did. It did. It answered my question. I just wanted to ask one other thing. When you were young, was Dusty on the road? Did he get home a lot, or was he pretty much on the road as much as you guys are now?
I really don't know, because, you know, my mom and him divorced, and I was 5 years old. So when I saw him, it was at Christmas time for a week, and then summer for like a month for, you know, a good 10 years, you know, and I cried to my mom all the time. I wanted to move with my dad, you know. So I ended up finally, you know, moving to Charlotte when the Crockett era. But I really don't know how much he traveled then. I've never asked him. I don't know. I know it was the Florida time, the Florida Championship Wrestling. So they worked every day. You know, but they were home every day because they're working in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for calling in, Bob. Did you have anything else?
Just one other thing real quick. I just find it I know you have no love, obviously, for Vince McMahon, but he seems to be treating your brother pretty well, and, of course, your dad's there. Do you find it as strange that he has, you know, embraced Cody the way he has, and you're with TNA? I mean, it just seems like it's really weird to think like all three of you would be in the WWE.
Well, I tell you what, I can say I hate Vince McMahon over and over and over. And basically, I've got fired there 3 times, and I've quit twice, okay? So, but with Vince McMahon, the first good thing that he's done in years is, when Chris Benoit's family, all that stuff happened, he had an empty arena. That right there said, okay, this is one good thing, but this is before we knew, what Chris Benoit did. That they were just all dead. And you see Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross sitting there in an empty arena. Now, when Owen Hart fell to the fucking goddamn ring, and where they closed the curtains for an hour, and we in a quarter way through the damn show, then they continued the motherfucker, then I lost respect for that son of a bitch. I would have given every pay-per-view buyer their money back, every man and woman and child in that arena, money back, and done it another day. Mm-hmm. All he gives a shit about is money. And when he's done with you, he'll look at you and say, get the hell out and go work at McDonald's, because that's all you got. If he can make money out of you, if he calls you back in 4 years, like they called me back a couple of months ago, and they wanted me to do something with the freak, a bunch of the freaks or something. I don't know. And they were offering me, like $1,000, which money's not the issue. I said, no, I want 35, first-class tickets and hotels and rail cars taken care of. Well, we can't do that, so bye. So, if something happened to where Goldust, something with Goldust, that character would come back around, something would happen, yes, he would call me. He would put me back on, and I would be and get over and do something again. I will always, in my heart, want and desire to be in the ring with my dad and my brother. Me and my brother see money and Goldust beating the shit out of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Mm-hmm. But Dad doesn't like that, But yes, I would, if Vince called me and said, we're going to put you on a 6-man against, say Vince, Shane, and Hunter, yes, I would do that, because it would be the first time that, us 3 are together wrestling. We had our moment at the Hall of Fame, and, that's done. Yes, definitely. And money's not an issue, I mean, it's the rest of the business. It's touching moments like that make my world go round,
Absolutely. Well, I'm just wanted to say it's an honor to talk to you, Dustin, and I thank you very much for answering my questions. And guys, I really enjoy the show. I listen every week, and I appreciate the time.
Oh, well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Kind of along those same lines, somebody posted here on our board. They said during a recent interview, you commented that for whatever reason, when you worked for WWE, Vince refused to call you Dustin Rhodes, even during the induction of your father in the Hall of Fame. Given that, what do you think about calling Cody Rhodes on Raw?
Oh, I'm all for it. I mean, whatever, Cody's given the football right now, and he needs to stay focused and not drop the son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. Not fumble it. That has no, I don't even think of that, you know what I mean? It's right. Not, that bothers me to nothing. I mean, he's got the ball right now. He needs to, whether he's Rhodes or Reynolds, it don't matter, but he is a Rhodes, and that's the way it is. He needs to carry that ball, learn as much as he can, keep his mouth shut, watch the veterans, watch every match, and go out there and do what's in his blood, what he knows how he can do, but he's got, time takes time, And I don't know why they called me Dustin Reynolds, and it's just, it may be one of Vince's little ways of just being a prick. I don't really know.
Right.
But I really don't care. I mean, I was kind of like with Cody that night at the Hall of Fame, like, why are they doing that? But we left it at that. I didn't ask anybody or talk about it. It's just one of those little things, you're just like, well, why are they saying Dustin Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, like I'm not part of the family or some shit,
Right.
But then it goes out of my head, and I don't think about it no more.
Mm-hmm. Well, let everybody know that they can see you at the NWA Legends Fan Fest.
You getting on the phone with me now?
No, we keep going, but actually our co-host here, Incher, he's going to get ready to go to work pretty soon.
All right.
He works at night.
He is. Tell him to go find Ken. Or G.I. Joe.
Actually, I really appreciate you coming on, and this is a great interview. It was really cool just to even talk to you.
Definitely.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me, man. But listen, we really haven't even talked about it real quick. I mean, step in the ring with Tully Blanchard on this night is a great honor for me. You know, it's unbelievable to actually have watched Dad with Baby Doll against Tully Blanchard, and JJ's there. It's an honor to step in the ring with this man because he is one of the best in the world. Always been remembered, and yes, it's going to be a very exciting night. And for you guys, I thank you very much for the time you've given me, and to all the fans out there. You know, I hope that all your dreams, you know, if you're dreaming about something, then don't stop dreaming, man. Make it happen. And I hope to God that this new character, this new thing that I'm doing, you guys might like it, might not. I don't know, but I'm going to do it to the best of my ability for y'all, which helps us, and so forth, and whatever. And money's not an issue. I love the business, and without you guys, the fans, there is no business, and there, you know, it wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking today. I wouldn't be in a ring, you know, or anything like that. So I love you, even if you hate me. I appreciate every person that comes to watch me or watch somebody else and spits on me. It's fine. I appreciate you all, and I will always. And that being said, man, I guess we'll see them in Charlotte, which is going to be a big thing for me to see all the, you know, old school guys, which I know so many of them anyways.
Right. Are you kind of going there as, well, not maybe as a fan, but is it you looking forward to just to meet not just the fans, but you know, meet a lot of the wrestlers you haven't seen for a long time?
Oh yeah, that's like we did the one in Tampa, and you know I saw so many I hadn't seen in so many years, and you know Tully's dad's there.
Yeah, Joe Blanchard.
I haven't seen him in a long, long time, man. And there's a lot of the guys I haven't seen in so long, so it's going to be. You know, in between signing autographs, I'm going to be like just, you know, seeing everybody like, wow, this is so cool, you know. So I'm a fan, and this,
right.
You know, I'm a mark for this, and it's, you know, I'm just lucky to be here, bud. I'm lucky to still be able to do it, man.
Can we squeeze one more question in here? Because there's a fan here in our chat room. He's been asking it all night, and we haven't got to it. Now he's yelling at us. And Raul Duke, he wants to know, whose idea was the 7 character, and would you have liked it, you know, to go on?
7 character was my creation. I created that character off of that damn movie. What was it?
Dark City?
Yes, Dark City. But I wanted a wider face and red eyes. And that character actually, you know, I wanted to float to the ring, all that stuff. The voice was mine. We did all the voiceovers, the music. I piled a bunch of different ones. Jimmy Hart took me down to Tampa in the studio. I piled a bunch of different ones for the 7 character music, spelling the 7 name, you know, a different way for, you know, for the rivalry reasons, and then floating to the ring and gonna get that character over as a scary type of boogeyman character where let me give you an example. Say Sting is wrestling somebody, and on the Tron, boom, you see his wife cleaning in the kitchen or something, and I'm outside the window at his house, and he's 2,000 miles away. That kind of character where, and you hear his voice, and he can't get to her, and you don't know nothing, you don't know what happens, you know. It was going to be like that. That's the vision I had, and the jacket, the suit, all that stuff, the makeup, and the 2 vignettes we did with the little kid. I think the reason they killed it was because the second vignette, when he's laying in his bed and I'm floating out in the window, It closed his eyes, and when he opened them, they were black. And they flipped out on that, you know. So I think that was their kind of way of killing the character. And, you know, it could have gone far. Then again, it might not have. I don't know, but I had a vision for it. It was my creation.
Mm-hmm. That was cool that it was actually based on Dark City, because that's what I thought when I saw it, which I think is a very underrated movie, by the way.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I actually think it's better than The Matrix. I know some people don't think so, but it's one of my favorite
you
movies.
like Dark City better than Matrix?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a similar idea, but I actually prefer Dark City.
Yeah, I like Dark City too. I like the Matrix Revolutions, the third one, more than the first one or the second one.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming on. Everybody check out NWALegends.com. That's NWA Legends Fan Fest, Friday, August 10th through the 12th. That's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Hilton University Place Hotel. And,
where is the Hilton at? Is it downtown or?
I've never been to Charlotte, so I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay.
We're going to find out, though.
I think actually it's not too far from the airport, but it's...
No, it's 15 minutes from the airport is what it says right on the website.
Okay. It's a nice... Yeah, I've been there. It's a nice Hilton. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Inter and I will be there.
It's going to be packed. Well, please come up to me and introduce yourself so I know who you are.
All right, definitely.
Excellent.
I'm wrestling CWA in Columbia the night before, and with Timber, and I'm coming up.
Okay. I think that's he's friends with the Perfect 10 Baby Doll.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're riding up together that night, so I'll be getting in Thursday night, whatever time, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be getting. I think we get in Thursday night too.
Good. We'll go have a beer.
All right. Intra doesn't drink.
Oh, okay. Well, he needs to go get Ken then and leave him. You gotta go play with your damn dolls, man.
This is Harley Race, the king, the greatest wrestler on the face of God's green earth. And you're listening to In Your Head.
This is Goldust from Hollywood, California, or Dustin Rhodes, the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. We are taking over the wrestling business, and you have been listening to In Your Head online.